So earlier in my videos, I talk about the importance of storytelling. When you go to interview, less likely you'll be hired if you say, I am very good at Java testing, hire me. So you don't get hired like that. You have to have compelling story. Now, whenever you hear that I'm telling story, I also want you to learn how to tell a story. Let's start with the story. I used to work for Fannie Mae. Fannie Mae is a secondary mortgage market. What does that mean? If you want a mortgage for $400,000, you don't have $400,000 to buy a home, cash. Most people don't. So what they do, they go to bank, they apply for mortgage. Let's say they go to Bank of America, apply for mortgage for $400,000. Now, Bank of America, after underwriting process, check your credit, ability to pay, and finally they approve, and they give you $400,000. But have you ever think about how Bank of America has so much money? Like we're talking about trillions of dollars. How a bank can have this much money to lend? So actually they don't. They're selling loan in the retail price. Like when you go to some places like Walmart, it's a retail. But sometimes when you go to Costco, it's wholesale. Or you can have even bigger wholesale markets that you have to buy stuff in bulk. Fannie Mae is a loan wholesale applications. What do? All the banks in the United States, Bank of America, TD Bank, Navy Federal Credit Union, all the smaller big bank, thousands of them, they will come to Fannie Mae marketplace. Okay, it's called PE whole loan application. They're selling the loan on bulk loan, right? Selling the loan in there. So they will come and apply for loans individually or in bulk. Individual means that Bank of America loan agent can come to PE whole loan application, ask for $400,000 and 2% interest rate, take it if they approved, and sell it to the consumer, you and me, at 4% or 6%. That's how they make money. So PE whole loan application is a secondary mortgage market that you can buy loan in the wholesale price as bankers or banking people, right? Now, that's the application. I used to work there. Interestingly, they have this algorithm. So each time, it doesn't matter which bank you are, they have a 6-digit loan ID. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6-digit loan ID. And every time any bank applies for loan, if it's get approved, that loan ID will accumulate or increase by number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and n until whatever, right? So I was working in there. And then one day after I left, one of my colleagues, his name was Suresh. He called me, he's like, Kuzzat, let's have a coffee. So we had a coffee. I was like, what's going on in Fannie Mae? He started laughing. I was like, what happened? He said, one day, you remember the commitment ID, which is loan ID? He said, we ran out of number. What does that mean? He said, when developers write the code for that particular application, PE whole loan application, they did not think that one day we might reach 7-digit. So you have thousands of banks in the United States. Every day they're applying for loan. Daily loan volume could be a couple $100 million. Let's assume it's $500 million a day. Okay? So the last loan this application was able to issue was 999,999. It's like 6-9. Once it becomes 1 million, like no bank was able to apply for the loan. So that application for one day, the application was down until they figured out what happened, which that loan ID reached a cap and they lost $500 million in transaction in one day. That is why I'm telling you guys, software testing is a very noble job. It is very critical. Though it's easy, it's very critical. Now, in this case, the responsibility of software testers is finding what is wrong with the application according to what? Requirement document. Because you are looking at the requirement document. Requirement document says I should be able to apply for loan for individual up to $5 million. The upper cap are $5 million. So as a tester, you have to find out what is wrong. So what do? You put $5 million, $1. Can you apply? It should reject. So your job is looking at the requirement document and the test application based on the requirement document. But what if requirement document itself is wrong? How do you do that now? So that's why requirement engineering is extremely important. The application, testing the application, you guys are going to become software quality assurance or SDET, software development engineer in test. The keyword is test. The keyword is making sure the application works as expected, okay? The application is successful. The application does not cause harm to the society. The application does not make the company lose money. That's your job. So now as a test, when do you start testing the application? When you have built the application and then in the production, when should you test? Now I'm going to give you another example. Let's say you want to build a skyscraper in Tysons Corner, Virginia, 50-floor skyscraper, right? So now you have an architecture team. They're designing the blueprint of that skyscraper. You take the blueprint. That skyscraper is going to cost you, let's say, $1 billion. Okay? So what are you going to do now? You're just going to take the blueprint and start building the house or the skyscraper? So let's assume you are a smart person. What do you do now? You're going to take that blueprint from your architecture team, hire a third-party architecture team. Let them evaluate this blueprint. Now, in this stage, the third-party architecture team, when they're double-checking the blueprint of the skyscraper, they find critical mistake in the design of this building, and it's not safe. So now, how much are you losing as a company? I think, let's say, less than $50,000. It's very minimal when you compare it to $1 billion. So what do? You just perform an update. You will tell the architectures to update the blueprint, making sure everything is fine. Now, imagine you did not catch that mistake, and then you built the first floor, or second floor, or third floor. Now then you find the update. I think it's still better than when you find a mistake after you completed the building. So you can say that when I find a mistake in the blueprint stage, the cost of that defect or mistake is minimal. When I find that mistake, when I put 10 floors, it's going to cost me millions of dollars, okay? However, when I find that mistake, when I finish this entire construction, I already spent $1 billion. Now the county, office coming for examination, and I found out something was wrong, structurally wrong with that building, I could have lost $1 billion. Not only that, people could die. What does that mean? In software development, it's a very similar thing. Software development's blueprint is a requirement document. You do not want to assume requirement document is perfect and there's nothing wrong with the requirement document. The Fannie Mae example that I gave you, it was not written on requirement document. It was not mentioned in the requirement document. Requirement document was incomplete, was wrong. That is why it went through all the way of business analysts, design, development, testing, because testing people are testing based on the wrong or incomplete requirement document. That's why it was able to go to what? Production, where Fannie Mae had to halt the entire day of loan transaction could be a couple $100 million. So as a software tester, as an SDET, software development engineer in test, your job is find defect all the way as early as in the requirement stage. If you don't find it in the requirement stage, you have to catch it in the development stage. If you don't find it, you have to catch it in the testing stage. If you don't find it, you have to catch it in the UAT stage, which is pre-staging environment, right before the production. Why I called you like a double check environment. If you don't catch that, you're going to find that defect in production. When you find that defect in the production, that is the most expensive one. Imagine this Fannie Mae story. Imagine the one, Boeing 737 MAX, AMCAS software fiasco, right? Disaster. People die. As a software tester, your job is start your evaluation and testing all the way from requirement document until the production, even sometimes after the production. When do you start testing? You start testing as soon as you have requirement document. Have a good day.